Hi, No Fear. Hippie here is here, and today we are going to see what appears on the DVD website. We're going to be talking about 2024 in review and everything that has came to a game in 2024. I probably played DVD this year more than any other year I played, so I'm pretty familiar with all the events that's happened and all the cosmetic collections that happened as well. I'm gonna kind of give my thoughts about each and every single thing that happened in 2024 that I can recall. So let's get into it. So we have the Passion Project Cosmetic Collection. I did really enjoy the Hattie outfit. Michaela and Zarina's were pretty good as well. The Alan Wake chapter, I loved everything that Alan Wake chapter brought to the game. Um, as far as the perks, I believe Deadline's a really good perk. I like how it increases the amount you have to do skill checks, so that's pretty awesome. It does that. Um, his flashlight part is really cool in that you shine a flashlight at a killer and it slows them down and it allows you to walk faster. I think it's probably one of the most underrated for like looping builds there is, and it is a great starter perk to learn how to do flashlight blinds. Very nice inclusion. Um, as far as his boon, I was kind of disappointed on a boon. But thematically, I believe the chapter is very good. I liked everything it brought to the game. Um, the Saga Cosmet is probably one of my favorite Cosmet options in the game just because I love to hear her scream. She has a very, very loud scream. It's fun for meme builds. I do plan on seeing about eventually playing Alan Wake. I just haven't got around to it yet. Um, the Domrio collection, I didn't really care too much for. There was some like cool individual cosmetics, but it was not my favorite. The Alpine Frost I felt like was really cool for Singularity, and I feel like it's even cooler now that we have a new snow relay map. So very nice. Um, the Deadly Games collection I think is pretty cool, although there are some water cosmetics and I've been very vocal how I want a water map if we have over 40 plus water cosmetics. Because like Jonah got a swimming metal cosmet in there, and we don't have any mounts that have a swimming pool on it. Um, Smoldering Fury, that was a cool collection. I love how Alan Wake read his trailer out loud. That was really cool. Um, More about Alan Wake. We got the lights out modifier, which I was not a big fan of lights out. Like it was cool at first. Um, However, it slowly just lost the fun for me. I kind of wish that we would bring the lights out modifier and put it into the customs mode because then at least we can for our people who are missing the old DBD horror aesthetic, we can have it back. I wish it was more fog related than just you can't see anything at all. I just wish it was fog on the lower parts of the ground. I feel like that would be kind of better. But yeah, it's pretty fun. I enjoyed it while it lasted. The new Year Lunar out cosmetics, I felt like they were pretty decent. Really love the Iron Maiden cosmetics. Some of the best cosmetics, licensed cosmetics that came to a game. Since I would say the Attack on Titan cosmetics I dearly miss because I did not get me any Attack on Titan cosmetics for Survivor. Um, Nicolas Cage, he ended up getting a few cosmetics as well. I think he was in 2023 is when he came out. He may have not been, I don't know. But he's a great survivor. I loved all the parts he brought to a game. Um, the Unknown chapter, All Things Wicked. It was extremely good chapter. I would say this is the best original chapter DBD has released in quite some time. The Unknown, his power is simple, but he's strong, he's effective. I like it. He's pretty well balanced. His add-ons do a lot of unique, interesting things. Um, as far as his perks, I really, really love, I believe it's Unforeseen. You kick a gen, it makes you undetectable. It's a very good perk. It can be used in a lot of stealth builds or just as a general utility perk. He has another perk where anytime a survivor misses a skill check, it builds up and it works as a version of Pop. Not too thrilled about that. Could use a rework. Um, he has another perk, and it basically, anytime you injure a survivor, you vault and you gain haste for a little while. Which at first I didn't think had a lot of use, but it does have a lot of use on Legion apparently. Probably would have some use on Wesker as well, I would imagine. So I think it's a pretty good build. Uh, pretty good perks across the board for the Unknown. Sable's perks. Honestly, I love all of Sable's perk, even her invocation perk. I think it has one of the best animations in the game. It's still pretty viable in different scenarios. Although it is a Swift perk, it's still pretty dang good. Um, so I love that. I love how she has Wicked, so if you hook her in basement, it basically works as a version of Deliverance. And it reveals the killer's orb, which is very handy, especially on Swift. And it's for a long time. And then she also has not Spies from Shadow, Strength in Shadows. And it basically makes it so she can heal herself quicker in a basement. I still think self-care is better because of general utility. You don't have to risk going to a basement getting caught, but it's still a good perk. Only thing I didn't like about the chapter is I think Sable was she's made more for marketing, especially considering there is no lore mentions of Michaela in Sable's lore, or I mean vice versa. Sable was not in Michaela's lore, Julian was, so I kind of wish we got Julian more than Sable, but Sable's still pretty cool. Um, and there's actually theories relay that she was created by the entity, since she does have an entity tattoo on her left thigh, and I can definitely see that being a thing. So I kind of like her a little bit more because of that. The Greenville mount was a very cool mount that came to the game. It's probably one of my favorite mounts in the entire game, if not my favorite. Um, it's a little imbalanced if you don't do the Milgens first, but it's still very good. I like some of the tiles it brought to the game. I'm happy to see those tiles because it's a different style of looping that works on it. Um, and yeah, like I believe that's all for that. The All Things Wicked chapter is a great one. Okay, into February. I was not a fan of the colorful Ronaldo outfit, but it works. The Unknown and Sable, they came out with great cosmetic. I love the Biohazard or Biopunk collection for the artists. Not so much on Gabriel, but hey, it works. Slipknot, I love a cosmetic collection that actually changes the music, and Slipknot certainly does, and the cosmetics look pretty sick. I'm very happy to see them. I really couldn't ask too much more, I feel like, that from that cosmetic collection. Other than I wish we may get, like, how we got Iron Maiden shirts. I wish we got Slipknot shirts. I even went to a Slipknot concert, I think in 2024. Yeah, I did. Um, the Blood Moon event, I enjoyed it. It's pretty cool. A little too red, a little too hard to distinguish people or objects and objectives, but it was nice. And even though it started off with less blood points, as the event went on, you earned a lot of blood points from it, so it was very fun in that regard. Great for prestiging characters. Um, Days Gone By, I did like the Days Gone By collection. It was pretty awesome. The Tetware collection, I do like it. A little too colorful at times, but it's alright. It's alright. My Little Oni, I laughed my butt off when I played my first 5 games on it, and then I never played it again. It only lasted a week, but it's fun. The Splendor collection, that was everything looked beautiful. I love black and gold stuff. Uh, the Crystals collection, a little too many cosmetics from Sable Array, but I didn't really care too much for this collection. But it was alright. I know a lot of people probably liked it. The Gothic Tales collection, I thought that was pretty cool. I liked a lot of the cosmetics that came with it, and it really led into the Castlevania collection. Um, the Visions collection, did not. That's alright. It was pretty decent. Aftermath, I really like the cosmetics in Aftermath. They really made Dwight glow in that collection. Um, the Were Elk, I thought that was one of the coolest cosmetics to come through the entire game. Really enjoyed it. A little too pay to win in that it reduced the volume on Huntress, so you could not hear her. And I believe they eventually raised it up, but it threw everyone off and made Huntress into an extremely strong killer. The 8th anniversary, I did quite enjoy the 8th anniversary event. Um, the pilots made the party pilots may return. The party pilots were an incredible feature in the game that allowed for you to create a pallet, then toss it down. The killer also had some type of pallet break, yeah. And it's just a good event. Ate me a lot of actual peach cobbler because the anniversary event offering was the cobblers, I believe, and it was good times, good times. Vecna came to the game, which I was very happy to see Vecna. Um, he wasn't what I was expecting. I was thinking Vecna from Stranger Things. However, like I love what he brought to the game. It feels like a perfect adaptation of Dungeons and Dragons character into the game. Um, what else about it? His powers, I like that he has foil and it makes him feel like a real spellcaster. It took me a long while to learn how to loop him, but I finally did learn how to loop him, and I learned how to play him a lot better. I like how he's able to fly, he shoots his skeletons, he's got mage hand, and he has the info with the distilling spear. But what I think I like the most is I like his chest, because not only does he provide a fun in-game mechanic with the dice roll, which I think is probably one of the funnest mechanics in the game, it also allows for like good counterplay, which I really really like that. I wish more items in a game were more interactive. Say for example, like I love Skull Merchant in a sense that when you interact with her, you get to play a quick little mini game. I just find it fun. I love it. Um, as far as his perks, give me a second. I have to look up his perks because I kind of forget what they are off the top of my head here. And it also allows me to take a water break because I've been talking nonstop. Vecna DB. Dark Arrogance is a very good perk, I feel like, in a sense that it helps you out with your vaulting speeds, but it increases duration of pout stuns. I love stat boosts and perks, so I'm a fan of it. I'm a major fan of perks like that. I don't use it too much. Um, but it's pretty good. Languid Touch, it mates survivors exhausted when they disturb a crow. Started off weak, but got buffed, so I'm thankful to see that. I'm starting to like it more just because it gets rid of random lice, random sprint bursts, stuff like that. And Weave Attunement. Oh, man, I forgot Weave Attunement. Um, Weave Attunement, I actually really, really like it. It's a great perk. However, I felt like, from the very start, I felt like you need to be able to see the items because it has such a big gap in between solo queue and Swift. So I'm happy to know that they did rework it, but it did bring an interesting meta in that sense. Um, and then as far as the Survivor, let's go to her perks, TBT, Astri, and Yazar. I like how you can swap out the different cosmetics in between them. Not a big, like, I wish the bar got designed a little bit differently with the cosmetics, but they're still pretty solid. I still enjoy them to an extent, especially when playing on the Dungeons and Dragons map. Um, Water Inspiration. At first it was bug, but now I believe they fixed it, and you can you play your guitar near somebody working on a gen, and it increases the progress. I believe you and the other person both do the gen. So I like it for skill check builds. I think it's pretty handy. It also pairs up with Deadline very nicely, which is the Alan Wake part, which came out a few chapters back. Mirror Illusion, very, very handy utility perk. We saw it in more games though. It creates illusions, and there is some type of tech you can do it, but I'm not sure what the tech is. I think Aram is using it. Steel Sight, honestly one of my favorite perks. It's very nice in that you can see the killer's aura, and you can pair it with open-handed, and you can see the killer's aura from a long ways. So, the characters themselves were very, very nice. I enjoyed them. But to me, the main highlight not only was Barda Inspiration and Vecna's chess, where you get to play the mini games, but it was also the map. I love the Dungeons and Dragons map. It has a completely different layout to it, and it's probably one of the most enjoyable layouts I've seen. Um, my only thing I wish they would change about it is shrink down the top part so you're more tempted to go into the bottom part, and increase the amount of filler pouch slightly at top. Because there's some pretty if you can protect the 3 gen up top, you basically win the game as killer. I don't quite like that, but I really do enjoy the bomb part of it. I think it's very well designed. A little confusing, but once you learn it, it has a lot of strong loots in it, which is very fun to play in. I wish we had more chases down there. Um, and I also really enjoy the portals. The portal system works phenomenally. Um, so yeah, I would say it's probably one of my favorite mounts in the game, especially from that step. So they really have been nailing mounts in 2024. The Cats and Dolls collection, it was pretty cool. Always like cats and I like dolls, so big animal person. We got Chaos Shuffle, which was one of my favorite modifiers in a game, in the sense it changed up the staleness of the game. Because everybody had to use different perks. And for me, I use all of the perks to begin with, so I can kind of figure out what perks I have very quickly. Even if I was to have my perks blocked out, I could figure out my perks, I feel like, fairly quickly. Um, But the real benefit came from everybody having their own perks, so nobody was using meta stuff, which was pretty nice. Um, I don't like playing like that all the time because I am a little bit of control freak. I like being able to select different loadouts or having somebody else select loadouts for me. But it was fun while it lasted. Like I said, I wish they bring same thing with lights out, bring lights out and chaos shuffle into the custom modes. Why don't we have it in custom modes? I feel like it'd be a great addition. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. More about Ashley, more about DBD. Uh, Also, I did love the seal they gave Vecna because they gave him like a entity weakening seal, which was pretty dang cool and pretty good lore bit. His cosmetic, I did like it. I think we need more of it in Bard cosmetics because they kind of been forgotten lately. Um, Twisted Masquerade, it was still fun. Allure Croft, um, I did like how Lara Croft got added to the game. It brought in a lot of new players. I have one friend, he's absolutely obsessed with her, and she's a badass woman to have in the game. I do enjoy like her chest perks. That's another thing. With Twisted Masquerade and Bone Chill, and I don't think Hard by Daylight. All the event offerings, they increase the amount of chests, which I like. It gives you more incentive to interact with chests, and Lord Cross perk work with chests. So I kind of like how they really updated chests and are bringing them more to a Fortnite game. It also basically worked. Her perk basically worked as a brand new part. Anytime you open a chest, you would get like a mini brand new part, and you apply it to a generator using her perk. Um, Let me look up her exact part name because I'm still not good with it. uh, it's specialist. Yeah, so it's a great perk. I did enjoy that. Pardon. After you cleanse a totem, words are hard. After unlocking the chest and your blessing or cleansing a totem, you suppress the urge to scream. Which I kinda like that. I think that's a unique perk, but it's a little worse than Calm Spirit, I feel like. Um so I feel like they should have made they should have did something else with it. I feel like maybe reduce the duration of scratch marks a little bit. I think that would be really awesome if they did something like that. Not by much, but maybe just by 1 second. Okay, you don't want to make it as strong as lightweight, but I think that would be cool. Finesse is a good perk. I do enjoy finesse. It's probably one of the better perks in the game, and I can really appreciate what it brought to the game. It's not really a perk for me. I'm not the biggest fan of Vault Wheels. I much rather use Bounce Landing or Sprint Burst. I think they're objectively superior in a lot of ways, but I can see the value in Finesse. Finesse really pairs well with Life as well. Okay, on to the next. Oh, also, I did love the cosmetics that came out with this chapter. Some of the best cosmetics in the game came out with the Lara Croft, which I think was awesome. Sable's new cosmetic, I did like her beach cosmetic, not gonna lie. Still wish we had beach mount, but it's nice. Forgotten Memories was cool. Um, I like having anime cosmetics, but I wish they kinda did it with somebody else other than Fawn Um, Cross progression came to a game. That was a big thing. I love cross progression. Um, I linked up my PS4 and my Steam account. I wish it showed my total amount of hours more accurately, But it helped gave me a lot of blood points and prestige my characters quicker, so I cannot complain. I later linked up my Switch that I got recently here in like the last couple weeks. 2v8 most fun I've had in the entire game because it got rid of the loneliness of playing a killer. I can truly say if they were to make a Dead by Daylight 2, they should focus just entirely on 2v8. Get rid of all the glitches and in the game, just build from the ground up and make it based around 2v8 because it would be incredibly fun. And also I like how whenever you did it, you did not get punished for uh, you did not get you did not have the chance to unhook yourself on first hook, so it made people killing themselves on hook a lot more difficult. So I like that. It made people decide to stick out games longer. So that was really, really nice. Very fast-paced action and dodging a huntress throwing a hatchet and a Billy with a chainsaw at the same time was probably the most exciting moment I've had in this game. Um, Dead by Daylight Noir collection. I liked it. I wish we got more Noir related stuff. Especially like a Noir related like killer or something. Um, I know Dead by Daylight does not want to like introduce guns into a game, but if we had like a killer with a Tommy gun, mobster type balls, that would be cool. Um, the Dracula collection came out. Let me look up his perks. Dracula, DBP. Dominus, I liked it because it slowed down uh, your ability to do different hexes and tests. I felt like it was a pretty cool slowdown. It made certain perks a little too strong if you combine it with Thrill of the Hunt, since they gave Thrill of the Hunt a buff this year and then it got nerfed, thankfully. Um, but it is a pretty cool perk. Hex Wretched Fate, haven't used it much still. I still feel like it's well designed, it just doesn't fit my playstyle as much. Where after a generator is completed, activates a random dull token, cursing on this session, reduces their repair speed by 33%. The aura of the hex are revealed to them within 12 meters. I think it is cool in that it activates after a gen is completed. Um, and it could provide some cool slowdown. I wish it kind of paired a little bit better with Dying Light, but it really doesn't, unfortunately. I think it should reduce healing speed as well, I feel. Um, but in between Dying Light, Thano, and Wretched Fate, I think those would be some cool perks. Maybe toss some Plaything. I'm not sure what killer that would go best on, but I think it has a lot of opportunities there. I can respect that. Human Greed is his last and final perk. Um, one can always rely on the avarice of the living, use the one's advantages, grant the ability to kick an open chest, and close them. The ores of unopened chests are revealed to you at all times. The ores of survivors come at 8 meters of unopened or closed chests are revealed to you for 3 seconds. Hungry has a cooldown of 20 seconds on ability to kick chests. I like it. I do. It provides some. It basically works as a killer's wiretap, just based around chess, which I think is cool. I wish we had a killer version of a wiretap that worked on totems, but working on chess is still pretty cool. Um, I'm not sure if it gives survivors info that their aura is being read. I think it kind of should. Um, and I like how it revolved around chess. Um, I did know that I played up against a Bubba. He was using that perk on the game, and he slugged Survivor the whole entire game because he could read everybody's aura because of all the chests. So it has some versatility. I do like the versatility that perk has. It's not super strong, but it does give you a lot of info. Um, as far as Dracula, I initially thought he was weaker than he was, but he's one of the killers. I think he has the a very, very high skill floor, if not the high skill floor in the game. He took me forever to learn how to play. Still don't know how to play him best, but because I was swapping between the forms, and it doesn't match up the best. Um, I like how they did a little different from the scroll wheel that Vecna had, but I kind of wish we had a scroll wheel or some different form of transformation to make it easier swap between the forms. Um, he has the vampire form that does hellfire. He has the bat which flies, and he has a wolf that charges and breaks pallets, and also gets speed boost from orbs. Um, so it's a lot of powers. I like the variety. Um, the bat form is the only one I feel like is kind of too strong. I feel like the bat form should probably give you more info, but also make it take longer to swap out of it, so you can't just insta hit out after you get out of it. Um, he's one of the few killers I feel like kinda deserves a nerf. Because right now I'm kinda leaning to saying he's probably the third strongest killer in the game. Um, like just right behind Spirit and Blight once fully mastered, which I'm not okay with. I do like how he has a higher skill floor, but I still don't like for killers to be as strong as Nurse and Blight. I just don't. Um, but I also don't want survivors to be oppressive, and he's the only one who can keep up with. He's one of the few killers that can keep up with survivors in higher ranks. Um, and by higher ranks, I mean like comp. Okay, let's go back and keep going. Oh, I almost forgot Trevor. Well, I'm looking at Trevor. I also did like how Dracula came with his floating castle. I watched the anime, the Castlevania anime, and the Castlevania anime was phenomenal. Really enjoyed it. Um, oh, what else? I had not played any of video games. I need to. Trevor Belmont. I love the cosmetics that came with this, the chapter as well. It was a very, very good cosmetics. Ooh, my voice is getting tired. Okay, so I'm gonna start making it take a little less long because it's already like a 33-minute video of me talking. Um, so Trevor Belmont, he had Exaltation, good perk, like it. I like how we now have perk to upgrade items in the game. As a Belmont, phenomenal perk, and that allows you to see auras of the killer, which I think is very handy. I know a lot of people hate aura reading. I love it. I still think there's a lot of ways to hide from it. Um, I wish though it had killers had some type of sense when the aura was read after a certain amount of times in a match. Doesn't tell you exactly when, but kind of lets you know, hey, your aura was read like 4 times within like the last minute. I think that would be helpful. Um, because it doesn't reveal perks, but they don't really know when it's happening too much. But I think that would be very helpful for both sides if somebody has just a complete aura rebuild. Um, Moment of Glory. I really enjoy it. I've used it in Chase quite a bit. It's probably one of my favorite perks, and it pairs so well with Lore Specialist perk. Um, so it basically works as after you get hit, you heal yourself after 60 seconds, which I can normally make a chase last 60 seconds. And you get the brand new part from Lore's specialist part. So it combines so well. One of my favorite builds. Um, Horse from a Deep Collection. Love the cosmetics. We need a wire mount. Let's see what else we got. I love the Burn Chucky cosmetic. Alcar is one of my favorite survivor cosmetics in the game. Oh, we got the Cassandra Frank Stone. Awesome concept. And I love the DBD references. I kind of did enjoy the ending. I wish it was a little more flexible, but I kind of was expecting it based off of me playing the Quarry before. Um, Wish they would cut out just entirely the second level where you're going to the mill. I feel like that would make the game a lot more concise. But going back and watching like some of Pixel Bush's videos about it, I really did enjoy the casting of Frank Stone. Doesn't have much replay value, but I love the lore it brought to a game. I'm hoping we get a casting of Frank Stone too, or get him eventually brought to the game. I did love how we did have some casting of Frank Stone cosmetics though. That was pretty nice. Um, the Dominus collection or Tom, awesome Tom. I really liked it. The Castlevania Lights Out, liked it a little bit more than the original Lights Out because you got to interact with things and you had all the gothic stuff going on. Um, Still, bring Lights Out at customs. I think we would be good. It's not really it's strong enough to have its own event, but it would be nice to have that option in customs. Haunted by Daylight, absolutely loved it. It's a home run for me. I love the cosmetics. I loved all the blue. I know some people hate all the blue. I loved all the blue. Blue's my favorite color. The Void has some of the most interesting loops in the entire game. I wish we could use more of those loops in future maps. I still think we need to reduce a lot of the mounts to make it easier for new players to learn and have mount seeds in the game. But oh my god, the loops in the Void were incredible. You had to make sure you fast vault, and if you did it correctly, you got onto a different platform. If you didn't, you went all the way down to a bomb. I thought that was so cool. You had like a little platform you ran across, and you had to weave carefully on it so you could go across it very well. Um, so that was awesome. From the killer side, you could go around different areas and onto different platforms, but you had to make sure you lunge to do it. And I thought that was the coolest like feature in a game. I kind of want for us to have more of that in a game. And make it so you can have your killer powers in those mounts. And I think it would add so much variety to the game. Um, Increase the skill ceiling, which I'm all for. I love increasing skill ceiling. Get rid of invisible walls. I also like how you could you had like a lunge and then it would make you hop onto a lamp and then you like lunge again almost and then you got onto another area. It was, as far as like tile placement, some of the coolest tiles I've seen in the entire game. I also like the smoke bomb we had during the event. The smoke bomb was incredible. It provided a lot of versatility to the game. Very nice. Okay, I did like the cosmetics we have from this collection. It's like the Japanese cosmetic collection. Pretty dang cool. I've been learning a little bit more about the Japanese and how they play. I'll probably talk about that in a later video. 2v8 with Spirit and Deathslinger and Blight all came to this mode, and it was awesome. is even better than the last TVA. We also got Dune Course, so introduction of Helmmaster. Helmmaster, what were her perks? Okay, take my war break. Hmm. All Shaking Thunder, it basically works as a coup de grace anytime you fall from a high place. I think it's awesome when you have a perk that works for killer when you drop from a high place. Um, and I like how it lasts a longer time to kind of help balance it out to make it kind of as strong as balanced landing. No quarter, it basically works as Merciless Storm, but for healing actions, which I'm pretty happy to see. I like things that increase skill checks. Um, so I think that's a pretty good perk as well. I wish it had a little more versatility, a little more usefulness. Same thing with All Shaken Thunder, but they're pretty solid perks. Scourge Hook Jagged Compass, I think is probably the best perk that came with this chapter. As far as killer perks. Makes it so you can create your own Scourge Hooks and shows the progress of the gym with the most progress. So I think it's a very well thought out design perk. It fixes a lot of problems I feel like with Scourge Hooks. I just wish we had more Scourge Hooks so we could have more variety. Um, Hangman's Strip, I do not feel like deserves to be a Scourge Hook. Monster's Shrine is still, I think, too weak most of the time. Pain Res was strong, but it got so many nerfs, it's kind of average now. Um, Still decent. And Get to Pain, I like it. I think it's a good slowdown. And then you got Floods of Rage, which is more reading, but I feel like there has to be something else we could use for Scourge Hooks. Then we could have a lot more variety. As far as the Helmmaster herself, visually, I did not like her design too much. Um, I think that she should have been a little bit more supernatural and make her a little bit more intimidating. Because right now she looks like a geriatric woman, and she doesn't seem that intimidating. I wish they would up the fear factor on her a little bit. And also her eye patch doesn't make no sense to me. Especially with being on the side of the face. I guess it maybe is to help hold up her jaw, but I feel like it would be cooler if we had a cosmetic that showed the damage on her face a little bit more and made it a little bit more severe. Um, I like the doll that came to a game. I forget the doll's name off the top of my head, but she was pretty cool. I like her power is simple but effective. She is very, very buggy, but I believe they fixed most of the bugs. She's been disabled for a while though. I wish they would get rid of her being disabled. Because I want to play as her. I think she would have some more power now that she's been reworked, and she'd be stronger. But I don't know. I hadn't played her in forever. Um, so she's kind of a flop in that way. Also, she released with a cosmetic that was extremely expensive. And I don't feel like offer too much, and I just don't find a poodle intimidating as well. Like, I wish she released with a German Shepherd, which is my ideal dog, and I would instantly buy that cosmetic. Um, so I felt like she a little bit of money grab in that situation, but she does have a lot of versatility. I like different builds you can run on her. Um, I think her power, like I said, is simple but effective. I like it. Um, and I really, really love her lore. I like that introduces uh part of the lore where it's based. She's not quite exactly in the Bermuda Triangle. I think she's in like some type of European or African triangle, but still the same concept. And where ships and stuff goes missing, but it has this presence of the entity of it, and that kind of explains all the supernatural events. I love that. I wish we had more of that in a game. I love how she has her um I guess rivalry with her employer, which is pretty dang cool. Her lore I feel like is a home run. I feel like her power is a home run. Her perks are average, and her cosmetics could use a little bit more work and make them more intimidating. But overall, I really did like the Helmmaster. Um, but my favorite part of the whole entire Dune Course chapter was actually Tari. So Tari, think she has some of the best perks, or not the best perks, best lore in the entire game. I love having a survivor that has a connection to the Black Veil cult. I feel like it enriches the lore so much. It also connects to Hattie's lore, which is phenomenal. Hattie's also one of my favorite characters. It was so cool seeing her implemented into a game and everything she's been bringing to it. Um, so yeah, I haven't ever been this excited for Survivor. I also love her cosmetics. They are extremely well thought out. I wish they matched a little bit better with each other, but I really, really enjoyed the looks of them. They make her seem like an actual cult member, and I love like the phrases she says in the lobby. Um, so she is just by far my favorite survivor. At first, I thought she looked a little bit like a crackhead because of a picture that was released, but once I actually saw her in game, she looked a lot more like intimidating and just it matched aesthetics matched her lore perfectly, and it was such a good chef's kiss. I loved it. As far as her perks, clean break, I've used it. I wish it was a little bit stronger. I wish the cooldown was it took so basically you heal a survivor, then they start to heal you. You press a button, you get insta healed. So you can instantly start working on gens while you're healing in the background. I think it's cool. However, I wish it was save you a little bit more time. I don't think it needs to be. I think it's 60 seconds and you heal up. I think it should be like 30 because it's not like a moment of glory. I feel like it would be a lot easier. Um, and then you can actually get a lot more value from it. Invocation Treacherous Crows. You do your invocation in the basement and you can see the killers or anytime they disturb a crow, basically. And I like it, and I think it does reveal them for 2 seconds. I think it could be a little bit more handy if it was 3 seconds. Just make it a little bit stronger. Especially since you're doing a broken status effect and you have to do invocations separately, which I'm glad invocations are done separately. I just wish, what's the word for it? That, what's the word for it? I think it's good. I think Invocation Treacherous Crows is good. I just believe that Invocation perks should be strong, and right now I don't feel like it's super strong. Just making it 3 seconds would increase the power of it by 50%. I would be happy with. I feel like it would make it deserving of being an Invocation. Shoulder of Burden. It basically allows you to take a hook state off of a survivor who's on hook and apply it to yourself. I like it because it helps you balance out perks. and hoods, and it kind of bridges the gap in between skill levels, which I'm very, very happy for. I think it's a great addition to the game. However, I wish it was base kit, much like how I kind of wish. Um, I'm happy Bar Time is base kit, and almost. I don't want DS to be base kit, but I do wish Shore of the Burden was base kit. Um, I also wish that the killer UI properly reflected all the hoods of all the survivors as soon as Shoulder of the Burden was used. Because it gets extremely confusing trying to tunnel out people, and you don't know um, who has what hoods. And I do like how it balances out stuff. I wish it did a little bit. It would killers have more info to counteract it. Also believe Swifts are extremely strong with solo queue, not as much, which I'm not as happy with. I think we should bridge the gap a little bit more. Um, but yeah, I would say Tori, as far as Survivor's release in 2024, she has gotta be my favorite. I'm obsessed with Tori. I'm a Tori lover. If I was to prestige Survivor, other than Jane, because she kind of looks like my girlfriend, I would probably go with Tori. Just because I love her so much. And okay, the Bone Chill event, the last thing that's happened in 2024. The Bone Chill event, I like the snowmen. They're getting away too much, though. I feel like we should reduce the size of the snowman just a little bit. Because they are phenomenal body blockers. I feel like they're wider than the killers. Um, I do like how you can create chests with this event. I think it's awesome. The new map that came out, I'm extremely excited for it. I also think it alludes to the Thing chapter. Um, and The Thing is like one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I love imposter killers and all the fear and paranoia it makes you have up against other players. So I will be extremely happy if we get the Thing chapter. The reason I think it's related to a thing is because it looks like the Arctic. I know it's based off of the Orman mine. However, there's also a shadowy figure on one of the promotional images that looks like the big Thing poster, which is constantly like the most iconic thing from the Thing being that poster. They also did a remaster of the Thing lately. So they had like the Thing video game that came to PlayStation 2 and they re-released it for PC and upgraded the graphics, I believe. So I would be very, very happy if we got the Thing chapter. Everybody's been asking for an imposter killer since the Legion trailer. So I think I would be very happy with it. As far as the loots, I love the loots they introduced in the game. They're very nice. They're different. They're more unique. I want to see those loots incorporated into other maps as well. Um, Only thing I could say may shrink down the map just a little bit more, and I think it would be pretty good. The loots themselves are very strong. I just think that they should be shrunk. The map itself should be shrunk down a little bit more. Um, but yeah. What else about the Bone Chill event? Like the firecrackers, I believe they calls the death and status effect, which I'm happy to see. I don't think the normal flash flames do it, but I think the firecrackers do. I love to see the death and status effect. Um, and yeah, I think that's it, guys. So yeah, I'm overall, I've really, really enjoyed playing DVD in 2024. It's been awesome playing it. I've been growing my Twitch more over that time period. I've really, really just have met some incredible people this year and seen some incredible things happen. And overall, it's just been a very, very positive experience with it. I kind of got a little frustrated with the Houndmaster chapter, just because of the glitches Houndmaster was experiencing, how we didn't get the new map immediately, and survivors really did feel like they're getting a little too strong in some regards. I'm learning how to play differently because of it. I'm adapting. Um, I still feel like survivors are too strong and swift, but I think the new addition to the modes have been extremely successful. They've added so much to this game. Um, and I just hope now that they can focus on the custom modes a bunch. Just bring over the lights out, bring over the chaos shuffle, possibly get rid of the glitches just by relaunching DBD as 2v8. 'Cause it brought so many different people to the game. Um, I also just want more UI improvements. The UI I think could definitely use a overall haul where we get more info. I want us to bridge the gap between solo and Swifts a lot more, and having that extra information I feel like would bridge it more. Even I think a proximity chat would be cool too if possible. Um, so yeah, I think there's a lot you can do with a game. I think also not this year. I think a year before they released Meet Your Maker, and they used a lot of resources to make Meet Your Maker. It was not a success by no means, and I feel like they should use all those resources to make DVD Maker. The cast and Frank's by DBD Maker, I mean they should have brought that ability to create map seeds and to arrange tiles into your custom modes, along with like a floating spectator camera. Um, I think those would be some of the best things they could possibly add to a game to increase longevity. Left 4 Dead 2 still has a very active player base because they added all that customization into your custom lobbies. So I think that would be really, really cool. Um, the cast of Frank Stone, I enjoyed all the references in it. I wish it was a little more concise, but there's a lot you can do with the story now. And I think it's probably been one of the best years we have for lore being added to this game. I really want to see like more lore get added because I love the lore in this game. I love playing as the different characters and just seeing where this game is taking us. I am really, really looking forward to the 10th year anniversary. I know we still gotta go through the ninth, but we got FNAF chapter coming up here in summer. I think that's gonna be phenomenal. We may have um, Frank Stone coming as a possible killer. I think he may be even a track killer, which I think would be awesome. We need another track killer in this game. Because the track killers we have right now, they're just not that exciting or fun to play, but I think it would be awesome if we had some fun track killers. Um, the possibility of having the thing excites me, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of this community and grow with this game. So I hope that kind of explains my thoughts, my feelings, and just how passionate I feel about the game lately. It's really rejuvenated my love for DBD more and more as the months have went by, and I've played it more and more with my girlfriend, made incredible friends through it. But that is my 2024 review of Dead by Daylight. I will see y'all in the fog, and I hope y'all have a great and wonderful 2025. Bye bye.